Is it live? Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The aspect towards is the volume column. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear brothers and sisters, we are about to commence the program for the Shahadat of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. As you know, due to the pandemic, we are also having a program. It's here live in the parking lot of ICZ, and as well as live streaming on ICZ Channel 1. Just one announcement, we're going to have cleaning for the ICZ Center, inshallah, on the 12th of this month. If you haven't registered, please register. So now I'm going to invite Brother Wafi Abbas to recite the Holy Quran, and so we can start the program. Recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Yeah, you can take it off.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر والسماء ذات الرجع والأرض ذات الصدع إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزل إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. By the sky and the night comer, and what can make you know what is the night comer? It is the piercing star. There is no soul but that it has over it a protector. So let man observe from what he was created. He was created from a fluid ejected, emerging from between the backbone and the ribs. Indeed, Allah to return him to life is able. When the day when secrets will be put on trial, then man will have no power or any helper. By the sky which returns rain, and by the earth which cracks open. Indeed, the Quran is a decisive statement, and it is not amusement. Indeed, they are planning a plan, but I am planning a plan. So allow time for the disbelievers, leave them a while. Sadaqallahul Aliyyul Azim. Allahumma صل وسلم وزد وبارك على رسول الله وآله الأطهار على رسول الله وآله الأطهار لخمسة واشفي بهم خر الجحيم الخاتمة المصطفى والمرتضى وابناهما والفاطمة.
ما شاء الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Jazakallah. That was very beautifully recited by Brother Rafi Abbas. May Allah increase in your tawfiqat. Next, I'd like to invite Brother Abbas Raza Asif to recite a Marsiya. Please recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
درود بر محمد و آل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل.
मरसिया बस सिलसिले शहादतें इमाम जाफर सादिक अलैहिस्सलाम की खिदमत पेश है। 12 दिगर सलावत।
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
बेचैन दिल थे हजरत बाकिर की याद में, सामाने गम था फिरक़ाए पाक के एतिक़ाद में, था जश्न ईद खानाए अहले अनाद में, गोया बहार आई थी बाग़े मुराद में, गोया बहार आई थी बाग़े मुराद में, खुश थे के बारावर शजरे मुद्दुआ हुआ, एक ताज़ा गुल अली के चमन से जुदा हुआ, एक ताज़ा गुल अली के चमन से जुदा हुआ, दिन रात पहले शर्अ सी तदबीर में थे खैरुल बशर का नाम मिटा दे वो रूह से पर खल्क रह न सकती थी बेहुज्जते इला, बख्शा खुदा ने जाफर सादिक को इज़्ज़ुजा, बख्शा खुदा ने जाफर सादिक को इज़्ज़ुजा, जो हर कुशाए तख्ते करामत हुए हुजूर, रौनक फज़ाए तख्ते इमामत हुए हुजूर, रौनक फज़ाए तख्ते इमामत हुए हुजूर, कुर्बा मलक थे जाफर सादिक की शान पर, हाफिज फिदा थे मुसहफ नातिक की शान पर, मौला तो जान देते थे खालिक की शान पर, माशूक को भी नाज था आशिक की शान पर, माशूक को भी नाज था आशिक की शान पर, कायल ज़बां हर एक मुनाफिक की हो गई, आलम में धूम उल्फत सादिक की हो गई, आलम में धूम उल्फत सादिक की हो गई, बाकर के लखते दिल को न आया कभी गज़ब, ताबे खुदा के हुक्म का था सरवरे
अरब
करता था सबर नासिर दीन हबीब
रब
देता था सद में आपको मंसूर बे
अदब
देता था सद में आपको
मंसूर बे अदब
फिर ने असर फिर गया फख्र कलीम से कीना था संग सख्त को दुर्रे यतीम
से
कीना था संग सख्त को दुर्रे
यतीम से
रहती थी उसको शामो सहर फिक्र कत्ल जलता था आफताबे इमामत से रूह थी आरज़ू के खानाए हैदर हो फिर हाँ बे इमाम खादिम सुल्तान दी
पना
हाँ बे इमाम खादिम
सुल्तान दी पना
सादात मुबतलाए बलाए अजीम हो जाफर हो कत्ल मूसी काजिम
यतीम हो
जाफर हो कत्ल मूसी काजिम
यतीम हो
जालिम को बेगुनाह से मंजूर थी मक्कार ने इराक में आखिर तलब करता रहा इरादा कत्ल शहे एजाज ताजा देख के कर देता था एजाज ताजा देख के कर
देता था रिहा
तेगे सितम निकालता था जब नियाम से चल सकता था न जोर दुआए
इमाम से
चल सकता था न जोर दुआए
इमाम से
सद है संग दिल को न कुछ इसका था मेहमा मेरा है गुलशन बाकर का नो मंसूर का भी तर्के वफा में वही
कहा
जैसे यजीदो इब्ने जियाद ज़बू जैसे यजीदो इब्ने जियाद किस तरह जालिमों ने सताया हुसैन को लूटा बुला के घर से शहे मशरक़ैन को लूटा बोला के घर से शहे
मशरक़ैन को
हक के वली का दुश्मन जानी था रूस सब आफतों से बच के वतन में जब आए वो जुल्म हो गया के मदीना हुआ अंगूर में इमाम को दिलवाया सहर अंगूर में इमाम को दिलवाया
सहर
सर्वे रियाज़ दी का जब हाल हो गया सरसब्ज बाग दीन का पामाल हो
गया
सरसब्ज बाग दीन का पामाल हो
गया
बेचैन दिल थे हजरत बाकर की याद में
Jazakallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Today is a very special night. We are here to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. He is the Imam which is our recognition. The Imam by whose name we are recognized as the Ja'faris. We, owe it to him for all, our jurisprudence and all of our rules and all of our laws. And it's very important that we look into his life and study his teachings. So without further ado, I would like to invite Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin to recite the Majlis. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
نبي محمد وآل محمد بلندتر صلوات.
Yes.
और दीगर صلوات.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Our condolences on the martyrdom, Shahadat of our beloved Imam, Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. First and foremost, to his great son, Imam of Asr, Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam. And to you all, mu'mineen and mu'minat, may Allah inshallah let us be among the true followers and Shia of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. Register our names among those who supported and help this maktab of Ahlul Bayt, and make it inshallah dhakhira and reward for dunya and akhirah. Recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa the eve of the Shahadat of our beloved Imam, the one who the name of the maktab is actually after him. It's a very important, special night from different perspective and angles, both from the historical perspective, whatever happens. I think you need to raise a little bit. I'm very close. The volume should be a little bit higher. No, I think the volume, I'm very close now. The volume should be higher. Maybe the setting is not right. I think the volume should be a little bit different. Maybe different settings. No, I don't think that's true. It should be strong enough that you can hear it. Yeah. Maybe the setting is not right. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. It is this night and this eve is important from different aspects, from the historical aspects, from the spiritual aspects, that the followers of the truth, the followers who are looking to find the truth should pay attention and inshallah follow and achieve and learn the truth about this. We're talking about a personality that is known for being the best from all aspects. If you're looking for a collection of all beauties from all aspects and angles, you should look at Ja'far ibn Muhammad and Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. Not only from the spiritual aspects, the piety of this personality. It's a little bit, inshallah, the beginning about the personality of this Imam, inshallah. And then we'll go to details of the discussion today. That we'll talk about this not only from the spiritual perspective that he's among the best, from the knowledge, from the ilm, that he actually is the one who spread out the ma'arif of Islam, not Shia. The ma'arif of Islam, driven from Rasulullah, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the one who is the well known for that. From all the makatib and madahib of Islam, not just Shia. From the political perspective, from the social perspective, from all angles when you look, this personality is the one. That is why today, no matter what kind of Muslim, what school of thought a person might belong to, would definitely bend down in front of, as a respect, Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. A personality that the reports and traditions came from Rasulullah himself about the birth of a person, a personality that Rasulullah described him as the Kalimatul Haq wal Lisan Sadiq. All Ahlul Bayt are Sadiq. All of them, they are truthful, right? Specifically this personality, which comes among, according to some traditions, against Ja'far al-Kadhdhab and other ones as well. But this person, that the kalam and the words and the speech of this person, Rasulullah is describing, La yantagu anil hawa, right? Kalimatul haq, he's the kalamiyya haq, the words of haq and truth. And lisan al-sadq, what he says, what he describes is all about the what? The truth and the haq. And then someone asked Rasulullah, what is the name of this person? Imam Rasulullah says, Ja'far al-Sadiq. Each of Ahlul Bayt, they have different personalities that we have to pay attention. When it comes to Imam Sadiq, why is it Sadiq? Because the knowledge, Shia, we call it, as you heard, is what? Maktab of Ja'fari, right? Fiqh Ja'fari. Which Fiqh Ja'fari means Fiqh Muhammadi, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, right? But why this term Sadiq? Because whatever he said, whatever he proved, whatever he brought as maktab, this is the true maktab that you need to take. Because he never lied. He never says that this is the actual Islam that you have to follow, unless this is what? Is haqq and truth. It's up to the followers to see what they want to get and how they want to follow. Therefore, it is important for us to pay attention, for us that we didn't live at that time, to pay attention and achieve the treasures from the kalam and the speeches and the words and sermons of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu, and see that this personality, that maktab is named after him, who he brought, what he had, his speeches, his words, his recommendations, that should be good for what? Dunya and akhirah. I'm going to take you to one of the most important hadiths narrated from Imam Sadiq that I remember in Hawza. This was one of the most important recommendations that our asatid were always talking about, and were telling us, you need to, as Shia and follower back to Imam Sadiq, have this in front of you. And according to some traditions from Ahlul Bayt, you need to read this multiple times a day, 1 or 2 times a day. Very important hadith from Imam Sadiq. It's almost like half a page or 1 page of hadith that we'll go through it, inshallah, sentence by sentence, to see what Imam had as recommendation for his followers. The hadith called Hadith Unwan Basri or Unwan Basri. Unwan Basri is the name of a person, was around 94-year-old. I want to go through the text of this hadith, because it's recommended actually to go read from the text. Very important and very interesting. And I want you to definitely Google it later on for yourself. It's translated in English and in Urdu. Definitely you can find it. To ponder upon the phrases of this hadith, that is the best recommendation how to follow the path of servitude, the path of ubudiyah, the path of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the path of irfan towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Imam Basri is 94-year-old. He said that I was actually following Malik ibn Anas in knowledge, and trying to get, knowledge from Malik, the Malik ibn Anas. And when I heard Ja'far ibn Muhammad came to Medina, I went and I wanted to learn from him as well. I want to read what happens to him and then go to the actual tradition. He said, one day, Ja'far Sadiq said to me, and I asked him, please, he said that I wish to learn from you. So I went to him to say, I want to learn from you. Imam said, people demand much from me. However, I also have many important rituals to perform. And I am a one who being supervised by the government. So I don't have too much free time. And I have my own things to do, my rituals, ibadah and worship and all these things. So, however, I also have many important rituals to perform. Therefore, please do not distract me from my rituals. Rather, go to Malik and continue to visit him and learn from him. This is a tradition of the Asatid, by the way. Whoever comes to them, they don't open up and teach. No, they look for the one who is ready, musta'id, talented, ready to learn and to absorb. The first things to any ustad, not only Ahlul Bayt, to any ustad in Hawza as well. Someone comes and says, I'm very busy, inshallah, go. That ustad, mashallah, is very good. They try to reject because they don't want to waste their time. At the same time, looking for that ready, important soil that when we put the seed, it actually what? Comes with the best product. Anyhow, he said, I was disappointed by this. One of us said, I was disappointed. And after that, I left Ja'far al-Sadiq and I said to myself, if he had seen any good in me, he would not have prevented me from visiting and learning from him. Something is wrong with me, not with him. When something happened and we're deprived from something, we need to think about ourselves. Maybe something is about me. I need to improve something. It's not all about others, other people's fault. If someone insulted me, if someone talked bad about me, if someone destroyed my honor, yes, that person is so and so, but maybe I have to look at myself. Ya Allah, what is it about? What sign is that you are going to give it to me, right? Anyhow, he said, right after that, I went to the Haram of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I prayed 2 rakat salat. Look at this history of this. I went to pray 2 rakat salat and I asked Rasulullah to help me make the heart of Ja'far ibn Muhammad Sadiq, soften towards me so he would accept me to teach me something. The students should be what? Persistent in learning. Sometimes like, we just read some book, we just prayed sometimes, the hajat is not coming towards. It's not about just 1 or 2 times. It's like years and years sometimes, of requesting and worshiping and being. He said, I said that and I went back to return straight to the house of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. And he said, I stopped visiting Malik ibn Anas. I can't go to him anymore. I found that source of knowledge now. Right? Those are signs. So I need to go to him. So I went directly to him. I knocked on the door. The ghulam came, the slave came. Anyhow, I waited and I went inside and I sat down. The hadith started from here. I want you to pay attention. Very, very important, inshallah, for all of us. I entered and sent my greeting to Imam Salih, which he's returned the greeting back to me. Then he said, please be seated. May Allah forgive you. I sat. He was silent for a long time. Imam put his head down. He was silent. Another sign of awliya of Allah. Whenever you ask them a question, don't just start rapidly to answer. I've seen in some of our asatid and maraj as well, silent for a moment. Not that they don't know, they want to process, and then they say it. Then he raised his head and said, what are you known as? What is your name? What is your laqab? I replied, he said, Abdullah, Abu Abdullah. My kunya is Abu Abdullah. Who? In Vanibas, the father of this. I replied. He said, may Allah affirm your name and give you success. Oh, Abu Abdullah, what is your need? What do you want from me? I said, I ask Allah to make your heart kind towards me and to bless me with knowledge from you. I hope that Allah, the Exalted, has answered my request with regards to the Honorable One, Imam Sadiq. Then Imam said, the actual text, the hadith started from here. O Abu Abdullah, knowledge is not obtained by learning. This is about the highest level of knowledge. We're not talking about physics and chemistry and stuff like that. Knowledge, O Abu Abdullah, is not obtained by learning. Rather, it is a light, it is a nur which enters the hearts of whoever Allah, the blessed and exalted, wishes to guide. The first book of Hawza, when you start Jam al-Muqaddamat, the first page when you open, it says Al-ilmu nurun yaqdhifuhu Allah fi qalbi man yasha. Extracted from this. Ilm is a nur and light from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to any hearts that He wants. He put the nur, the knowledge. That the ilm and knowledge at night of Qadr is the most important amal is this ilm and knowledge. So Imam said, Ya Abu Abdullah, ليس العلم بالتعلم إنما هو نور يقع في قلب من يريد. Then Imam said, so if you want knowledge towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, aqidah, right? First, find in yourself the reality of ubudiyyah and servitude. No. We come to a lot of majalis. Who is the best speaker that we can invite? In Urdu, in English, in Farsi, in whatever name, whatever language. We want to have the best. And we attend a lot of majalis. It's not working as much as we want. 30 years, 40 years, majalis here and there. We're not. First, work on yourself. What did Imam says? First, if you want knowledge, find in yourself the reality, haqiqatul ubudiyyah. Before you come to a teacher to learn, find the haqiqat of ubudiyyah. Subhanallah. Seek knowledge, then seek knowledge by utilizing it and ask Allah to make you understand, then He will make you understand. Look at the process. First, find the haqiqat of ubudiyyah inside you before you seek from someone else. Second, listen, learn, and act upon it. Amal. Act upon it. Then ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you to be successful in this. And look at this student, what it says. قلت يا شريف ما حقيقة العبودية? Oh, Imam, Honorable One, what is the true reality of ubudiyyah and servitude? Look, Imam was waiting for this student. Not that says, okay, thank you so much, I got it. No, you need to explain more. What is that haqiqat, the truth and the true ubudiyyah that you're talking about? You could say ubudiyyah means salat, ibadah, worship, and stuff like that. No, what is the haqiqat of ubudiyyah? And listen to the answer of Imam. This noble text here. Imam said, reality of ubudiyyah and servitude has three strengths. Three. For those who wants to take notes, very important, or follow or Google it later. Firstly, a slave does not see ownership for himself of the things that Allah has entrusted to him, because the slaves do not possess ownership. Slaves see wealth as that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed it in and wherever He has commanded them to. And لا يرى العبد نفسه فيما خبله الله ملكا. You do not own and possess anything in this dunya. لأن العبيد لا يكون لهم ملك. For the slave, there's no milk, there's no possession, there's no. For a slave, that's when they're a slave, right? Slave doesn't own anything. You're not the owner. These are the treasures from the mouth, the beautiful, holy mouth of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I remember I was saying this 6 a.m. That's the akhlaq, and he was crying and saying these things. Do not follow and accept or consider any ownership. Car, house, children, family. You're the owner. So all the trusts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be careful how you're treating this trust. If it was yours, you should be able to keep it for yourself forever. Secondly, three things, right? First, do not consider anything as you the owner. Secondly, a slave does not plan his own affairs, being entirely occupied with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Exalted, has planned. The Arabic says, وَلَا يُدَبِّرُ الْعَبْدِ لِنَفْسِهِ تَدْبِيرًا. Do not think that you are the ultimate planner for your life. You are not. It's a game, because it's the ma'arifat here, let me tell you, is the fun here, I have to tell you. We're playing game around here. Literally a game. Go to work, come back, we have to, by the way. We have to. But exactly like children. Our life is exactly like the children's life when they play with each other. I go to work, I come back, I'm a teacher, I'm a student, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, exactly like that, but in an adult version. They don't get the money, we receive money. They can't buy anything, well, we can buy it. You're not the planner. Many times we plan something, 100%, everything is correct. We're going to do it, inshallah. This time, it's not working. It's not working. Imam Ali says, what? Araftullah bifasq al-azaim. I know there's God. I recognize Allah because I planned something. Sometimes He doesn't want it. And I have to say, what? Sam'an wa ta'at. Second one, you're not the one who, no. But so, Imam is going to explain what are the benefits of this. Thirdly, he is entirely, that abd, entirely occupied with what Allah, the Exalted, has commanded him to do and prohibited him from doing. وجملة اشتغاله فيما أمره الله تعالى به ونهاه عنه. جملة اشتغاله, her own concern in life is what I do my wajibat and get away from her. This is the truth. So if a slave, now Imam goes step by step. Number one, so if a slave does not see any ownership for himself of that which Allah has entrusted to him, it would be easy for him to spend only the way that Allah, the Exalted, has commanded him to spend. So if I'm not the owner, and I need to pay, it's easy for me. Whether this is $100,000, trust amana. Do you consider yourself the owner? Do you think that those who work in banks, $1 million every day, they count and is under their hands, right? Do they see themselves as owner? So inshallah, today, the $1 million in front of me, I'm going to go buy. No, it's not me. It's not mine. I have to take it from this hand, give it from this hand. This is the life of me and my brothers and sisters. This is what Imam said. So when it comes to that, giving is easy. SubhanAllah. Ya Allah. And if a slave, second, leaves the management of his self to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to his manager, then the affliction of this world become easy on him. When you're not the ultimate planner, when something goes wrong, you're not getting depression and anxiety and OCD. Oh, he is in charge, he doesn't want. It's tough. It is difficult when something doesn't go as we plan. But you don't get affected that much with affliction and masa'ib because you know the planner is someone else. And if the slave occupies himself with what Allah, the Exalted, commanded him, جملة اشتغاله حرام halal, whatever Allah Exalted commanded him to do and prohibited him from doing, he will not have the free time to engage in, absurd debate and boasting with people. When you're جملة اشتغاله, اشتغال means what? Business, job. When your whole things in your mind is just the following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when it comes to others, you don't go to absurd things. Why are you doing this? No, you don't want to waste your time. You don't. What did Imam Sadiq told Imam Masih? I don't have time. Go to Anas, Malik ibn. So if Allah honors the slave with this three, the world, Iblis, and all creation would become low in the eye of the slave, of this slaves, and this person would not yearn after this world. If these things be given to someone, then this person is not looking for anything else. These things are the most important things. He would not seek what people have for glory or superiority amongst them, and would not leave his days to pass away from in vain. This is the first stage of piety. Allah, the blessed and exalted, said, the ayah Quran, tilka darul akhirah, that future abode for akhirah, we assigned it to those who have no desire to exalt themselves in the earth nor to make mischief and the good, and is for those who guard themselves against it. So far, what happened here? Three things. You're not the owner. You're not the ultimate planner. Your whole concern and job should be what? Follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to go very fast because I want to finish with this beautiful tradition. I said, in one of us, he said, oh Abu Abdullah, the kunya of Imam Sadiq, advise me more further on this matter. Then Imam said, there are 9 things to advise for those seeking the path to Allah, the exalted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I ask Allah to guide you in putting this advice into practice. 3 of them are with regards to yourself and about training yourself, self-train. 3 of them regards to forbearance and hilm and patience, and 3 about the what? Knowledge. I'm going fast what Imam says. Regarding the first 3, those things that you need to train your nafs with, be wary, inshallah, very quickly, be wary of eating that which you do not crave crave. Do not eat because you just want to eat. This leads to stupidity and imbecility. This would take your wisdom and your kharat and your mind away from you, eating too much. Do not eat unless you're hungry, and if you eat that which is halal, mentioning the name of Allah, and remember the narration of the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where he says, no human has filled a dish, a capacity worse than his stomach. Never fill his stomach full of food. Let him leave 1/3 of your stomach for food, 1/3 for drink, 1/3 for air to breathe. Not too much. Not too much. Any of scientists, scholars you find, even scientists, are those who have correlation with poverty. Not having too much, not having. With regards to forbearance, if someone said to you, if you say one thing, subhanAllah, if you say one thing, someone tells you, if you say one thing of insult to me, you will hear 10 things back from me. Then you should say to him, if you say 10 things and insult me with 10 things, you will not even hear one thing from me. If someone swears at you, say to him, if you are truthful, disrespected you, insulted you. If you are truthful in what you said, then I ask Allah to forgive me. And if you are lying in what you're saying, then I ask Allah to forgive you. Forbearance. Finally, if someone promises you, talk to you very vulgar, language and bad language, then promise him advice and courage. So you talk to me this way, I'll talk to you nicely. 3 things about hilm and patience. The last 3 regarding knowledge. Ask the scholars that which you do not know. When you find a source of knowledge and ilm and scholars, ulama, go ask them. And avoid asking them if it will cause embarrassment or just for trial. Never go to ask someone just to try them, to test them. Never do that, just for the sake of seeking knowledge. Be wary of acting on your own opinion, the last 3 of the knowledge. Be wary of your own opinion and take precaution in all matters that you can find a way for precaution. Avoid giving religious, edicts, just as you would avoid a lion And do not make your neck a bridge for people. Don't carry the burden of people's sins. Don't say something that you have no knowledge about. Don't carry the sins of others. They do wrong because you said something wrong. Then Imam says, now that I have advised you, you may leave, O Abu Abdullah, and don't interrupt my rituals. For I am a man, busy with all this thing. This treasure that came from the Oqyanus and the ocean of Ma'arif of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. That was not fair that I went quickly through this. Inshallah, later on, we go back sentence by sentence. We do the tafsir of this. About Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. The one who is this source of knowledge. Imagine how they treated this Imam. Very quickly, 2-3 minutes of musibah. He was old, Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. They mentioned few times that this Khalifa Abbasi, he ordered a very disrespectful person to go bring him here because I want to kill him. They said he went to the house of Imam Sadiq. He said, you have to come with me. Imam says, let me have my abba, let my clothing. He says, no, you cannot. Then he got on the horse, Imam, this old person, running after this person. And he took him to the palace of this Khalifa Abbasi. Many times disrespected Imam al-Sadiq, and finally they could not see the beauty, the haqiqah and truth about Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, and they poisoned this Imam, the Imam that the truth all about knowledge, the haqiqat for this Imam. They could not see that. And we say to Imam al-Sadiq, Ya ibn Rasulullah, however they treated you, we know that, but it never happened to you that they, disrespect your family in front of you. Ya ibn Rasulullah, Ya ibn Rasulullah, it never happened that while, in front of you, they attack your qiyam and your tents. Ya ibn Rasulullah, you said yourself, you were crying for your Jad Hussein ibn Ali as well. La yawm ka yawmaka ya Abu Abdullah. Oh, Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq, ask for Allah to forgive us. Ask Allah to give us knowledge and ma'rifah. السلام عليك يا جعفر ابن محمد يا أبا جعفر يا محمد ابن علي يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر ابن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا توسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا all together inshallah يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند يا وجيها عند الله عند الله لا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد at the time of azan and استجابة الدعاء بحق Imam al-Sadiq Ya Allah hasten the dhuhr of his son Imam Mahdi. Let us and our generation be among the true followers of our Imams. Ya Allah, those who have hajat, khair hajat, give them khair hajat. Those who are under difficulties around the world, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Those who are sick, Bihaqqa Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, Ya Allah, cure them all at this moment. And those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gathering to the soul. Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-Fatihata ma'as salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر جل جلاله الله أكبر الله أكبر جل جلاله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله عليه الصلاة والسلام حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر جل جلاله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله علي ولي الله وسير رسول الله وخليفته بالعباس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم اجعل قلبي بارا وملي ثارا ويشي قارا ورزقي دارا وأولادي برارا واجعل لي عند قبر نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم مستقرا وقرارا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم السلام عليكم.